Hi everyone, Mrs. Bassi here. I just want to thank everybody for asking me to speak at your 8th grade leadership forum. I got a phone call in January when I was on vacation in Florida and asked if I would speak on May 21st. And when May 21st came, I realized it wasn't happening and I was asked to speak virtually. So here I am today. You know that you guys have been special to me since kindergarten, and it's my pleasure to speak to you. They told me that the topic was going to be changed. The word was change. So in January, when I got the topic, I was like, oh, okay, I can speak to them about going to high school and things like that. And as you all know, in mid-March, our whole world has changed. And every day we are dealing with it, good, bad, in between, and we're learning a lot by it. Change is inevitable in all situations in life. Unfortunately, in this was a pretty traumatic change. But every day there's change, and some people are comfortable with change, and some people are not. People really like to be in their comfort zone. I'm one of them. It's very easy to stay in your own little situation and go through the day and be very comfortable. But as we all know, if we don't change, we don't really grow. A couple days ago, my friend's daughters were over, and we were talking about graduation and how maybe schools were able to have graduations now, and we were excited about that. And I told them that I never went to my high school graduation, and they were like, why? And I said, well, that's kind of a story, whatever. So I thought that was appropriate actually to explain to you why I never went to my high school graduation, relating to maybe your situation. Well, when I was in high school, I went to St. Rose High School, and I was a track runner. I was a sprinter, and the graduation happened to be the same day as the track finals for the state of New Jersey. But I didn't know that I was going to be in the track meet until the week prior, because you have to qualify to be in the state track meet. So I knew I had a chance. So then when the day came, I had to tell St. Rose a week before graduation that I wasn't going to be at graduation. It wasn't an easy decision. My father was my track coach. My mother was my soccer coach. So, they were very involved in sports, but they realized that graduation was important and it was going to be my decision. So I chose to go to the track meet. I couldn't do both. They were just on the same day, and graduation was in the morning and the track meet was in Rutgers University. It was a whole day thing. So I went to the track meet. Myself and one other person from St. Rose, a boy, we both qualified to go to the finals. So we both missed our graduation. So at the track meet, I did a couple heats, and heats mean that you run, your races, and then based on time, you advance to the next race. So I think I did about 2, maybe 3 heats, and then the finals were coming up for the 200 for the state state champions. The top 6 girls would be in the race. So as you waiting to hear if you made the finals, years ago they would just call your name over a loudspeaker. They actually wouldn't call your name; they call your school, and they would say St. Rose, and they would call your bib number, your number on your track thing. So it was at that point it was starting to rain, and it was a lot of chaos. And I didn't hear St. Rose called. So I went up to the bleachers to my parents, and they were sitting there watching, and my father said, I think you were called. And I said, I don't think I was called. He said, no, I think I heard St. Rose. Go down and check. So I went down to the track tent where the officials were, and only athletes were allowed down there, no coaches. So I went up to the lady, and I said, I'm wondering if I was called to be in the state final race for the 200. And she looked at her paperwork, whatever, and she said, no, I don't see that you're here. So I went back up and I told my parents that I didn't make the finals, and my father was like insisting. I said, I think I heard St. Rose. So we were discussing it, and as we're discussing it, the race goes off, and the 200 starts halfway through the track, and it ends by the bleachers. So we're in the bleachers, and as the race goes past us, there was a lane empty. And right then there, my heart sank, because I knew that was probably supposed to be my spot. My parents were upset. I was upset. I went down to we walked down to the bleachers. Now we felt, dejected that I knew that I missed the race. So when I got down to the track area, there was a girl who also ran in the race, and she said to me, St. Rose, where were you? We were waiting for you. And I said, I never heard my name. I didn't know they called St. Rose. And she said, yeah, they kept saying, where's the St. Rose girl? So I never made it into the final race. I was going to be one of the top 6 in the state of New Jersey. Who knows what would have happened? But the reason why I'm telling you that is, I chose to miss my graduation. I knew I might have had a chance to be a state champ or close to a state champ. And I did everything I could. I practiced, I ran, blah, blah, blah. I asked the lady if my name was there. She said no. Obviously, there was a mistake. The next day, my father, called the track people, we didn't call officials, and, they apologized and I'm sorry, but they weren't going to go back and run the 200 just for me. So when I came home that day from my track meet, I was annoyed and aggravated. I remember I didn't cry. My parents were very upset for me. And it wasn't my plan to end my track career like that after 4 years of running to not, make the final race. And it was out of my control. So the night of graduation, I went to a graduation party. And all the kids that were there were like, how'd you do? How'd you do? And I had to tell the story, what happened. I will say I found comfort in their responses. Everybody felt bad. This isn't fair. That shouldn't have happened. And it's funny because I never really felt a little cheated, but I never felt like it was really anybody's fault. It was just a misunderstanding. And I don't think about that day too often. It's not that on purpose, but just last week when these girls talking about graduation, I'm like, I never went to mine. So I look at it this way. I couldn't control that. I did the best I could. I asked, my parents asked. It was just a mistake. And I went on. Do I think about it once in a while? Yeah, I do. Do I think about maybe I could have been a track championship? Yeah, I do. Would it change my life? Who knows? But with you guys, everything that you do now in eighth grade, it's unpredictable. I'm hoping that you guys have your graduation, things that you missed out. And it's out of your control. And the only thing you can do really is, kind of think differently about it. You can't, there's a quote from Maya Angelou. It says, if you can't change it, change your attitude. And that's really the only thing I could do. Now when I tell the story, I almost kind of say it like a little joke here and there. But at the time it was serious for me. It was traumatic. And then I got over it and I was just like, well, what could I do? With your situation, I'm sure in mid-March when you were, told that you're going to leave Smelling Like Heights, you probably didn't think it was the last time you were going to be there. It was the last time you were going to be in the cafeteria or last time you were going to be in homeroom. No one really thought that. And every day is, a new story and a new challenge, and we hear different things. And, hopefully things are going to get better. I feel they're going to get better. But you are going through a time where things are out of your control. And the only thing you can do is take one day at a time. And Megan DeLuca, I hope that she's listening. I read her brother's Matt's quote, and that Matt went to Smelling Like Heights. If you don't know Matt, he's a senior at St. Rose. He also, would have been graduated yesterday, I think, and they're hoping to do it down the road. But Matt had a quote last week in the Co-Star that said, take advantage of the present, because Matt didn't realize that November was going to be his last high school sport. I thought that was such a good quote. Take advantage of the present. Because that's what we're sure of. We have the present. We wake up every day and we're here. And this is where we are. It's great to have goals. It's great to have plans and continue to have them. But what we do have is we have time and we have the present. And those two things together are wonderful things. You have families, you have friends, you have neighborhoods, you have dogs. You may not have what you had before with your classmates and your teachers the way that you had, or your teams, but you do really still have a lot. And when we think about what we have instead of what we don't have, we can be, more positive and happier people. When I was growing up, my father, and I'm one of 11 children, he would always say, kindness begins in your house. And it's so true. And, you have a family, you have a house, you might have close neighbors. When we're kind to people and we smile and we laugh and we have conversations, not only are we making them feel better, but we're feeling better. And sometimes we don't realize that. But when you're kind to people, you feel better. And it's very simple to be kind. And as you know, when you have those shirts in school, kindness it's easy to be kind. It's just as easy to be mean. It's easy to be kind. We want to choose kindness. So all these days that when you're confused and angry and upset and worried, and you had a lot of disappointments to go through. And I'm sure you still are. And it may not be easy for a lot of you guys, but you do have something. You have each other. You have a family. You have classmates. You have teachers who care about you. That's one thing that helped me with that track day, is that I knew my parents and all my classmates at St. Rose were so supportive of me. And that made it easy for me to get through that day. And just like you, people are supporting you and you're supporting each other. You are the class of 2020 at Spring Lake Heights. You will always be that special class. You know, people might refer to this whole year as the COVID-19 graduates, but you're way more than that. You know, you guys are special, more so than the other graduating classes in other years, because you had to get through all this, and you're still getting through this, and you still have questions. But remember that you have each other. That's really important. You will always be classmates forever. You will always be this class, whether you go to different high schools, different colleges, different towns. You will always have each other as the class of 2020 in Spring Lake Heights. And that's important. When you're taking care of other people, you know, you feel better. Your mom, your dad, your neighbors, take out their garbage, walk your dog, little simple things like that. Also very important, boys and girls, is that you take care of yourselves. And that can be simple things, you know, eat well, exercise, sleep, have fun, laugh, you know, play games, all these things that stimulate you and make you a better and a happier person. Because if you're a happy person, people around you are going to be happy people. And sometimes it just takes a little effort. It doesn't take a lot. So, you know, we try to think about what we do have and what we don't have. Just, you know, things will change. Everything changes and everything gets better. When I was your age, my mother used to say to me, I would be worried about a game or a test or something like that. And she'd say, when you go to bed, when you wake up tomorrow morning, you'll have the same problem, but it won't seem as bad to you. And it's so true. And I tell my kids that too. So are we always going to have issues in our lives? Yes. It's just how we deal with it. And I'm sure that you guys are, you know, doing the best you can. And you're going to be going to high school and all different high schools, and you're going to be together. It may not be what you think it's going to be, but it's going to be okay. So just remember to, you know, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other. It's okay to change. Change helps us grow and learn. And if we don't change, we become very, you know, stifled. We just kind of like, no, this isn't for me. It's okay to change. It's okay to change. And it's not always comfortable. That's the problem. Change is not always comfortable. I just want to say in closing, boys and girls, good luck this summer. Have a great summer. Enjoy the best you can. Good luck in high school. I know a lot of you are going to Manasquan. I'd love to see you all again. Hopefully I get to go to your graduation. And thank you for being who you are. I enjoyed 8.5 years that I was with you guys. It was difficult retiring because of you. My life completely changed. I had wonderful travel plans. I went to Florida. That's about as far as I went. But it's okay. I have a lot of other things important in my life. So thank you again. Good luck. Love you guys. And I hope to see you over the summer. Bye-bye.